March 4th, 2026. Good evening, my late night listeners. This is Sunny with Muse Media. And before we begin tonight's story, I want to tell you something that happened years ago. My mother used to tell me she couldn't sleep, and it wasn't because of the light, nor was it because of heat. It was because of a sound, a hum. She said she could hear it through the walls, even with the windows closed. So one night we stepped out to investigate, and a couple blocks away, we found the source. It was a high voltage power line. It was quietly vibrating in the dark, and most people, in fact, nobody even noticed it, but she could hear it clearly. And that made me wonder how many sounds exist around us every day that most of us never notice. Tonight, we explore one of the strangest acoustic mysteries in the world, a sound known simply as the hum. Reports of the hum have appeared in many places around the world. One of the most famous came from a quiet town in Taos, New Mexico. I was out there in that area in the 1990s, and residents were reporting a low frequency noise drifting through the desert air at night. Not everyone could hear it, but those who did described something very specific. It was a deep mechanical vibration, like a truck that would be idling somewhere far away, or a diesel engine running out there beyond the hills. Investigators, they brought in acoustic equipment. Scientists searched for industrial sources. Even the government came in and tried to study the phenomena, but no single explanation satisfied anyone. The sound became simply known there as the Taos hum. And Taos was not alone. Similar reports have surfaced in places like Bristol, England, Windsor, Ontario, Auckland, New Zealand, Detroit, Michigan, and other places scattered quietly all across the globe, always with the same description: a deep hum heard by some, completely silent to others. Sound travels in waves. Some waves are high and sharp, like a bird song or breaking glass, while others are deep and slow. These are low-frequency sounds. Some are so deep they fall below the range of human hearing, and scientists refer to these as infrasound. Infrasound can travel enormous distances both through air and water. Ocean waves produce it, volcanoes produce it, and large storms generate it. Even distant earthquakes send low vibrations across the planet. Sometimes the human body senses these vibrations before it even hits the ears, which may explain why some people describe the hum not only as a sound, but as a feeling, a faint pressure or subtle vibration, and something more than sensed than heard. Researchers have discovered that certain low frequency vibrations can affect the human body also in unusual, weird ways. Because the inner ear helps control our balance, deep vibrations can sometimes confuse that system, and it can really mess with us. In rare cases, people exposed to strong low-frequency sound, they report feelings of dizziness, unease, headaches, and or nausea. In one experiment in the United Kingdom, researchers quietly introduced very low infrasound into a concert hall, those stinkers. About 20% of the audience reported strange sensations. They had chills and anxiety, a feeling that something in the room was not quite right. Most of them heard no sound at all. They only felt it, which raises another possibility. When people report sensing the hum, are they always hearing a sound, or sometimes are they feeling a vibration? Scientists have proposed many different explanations. Some believe the hum comes from industrial machinery. That would make sense, right? Distant compressors, ventilation systems, factory equipment. Others point to electrical infrastructure. The high voltage power lines can produce vibrations that are known as corona discharge. It creates a faint electrical buzzing under certain atmospheric conditions. There's also the possibility of neutral infrasound, the ocean waves interacting with the sea floor. can produce low frequency vibrations that travel hundreds of miles. And some cases may involve tinnitus or unusual sensitivity inside the inner ear. Human hearing is not identical. Some people detect frequencies that others cannot, which means the world around us may contain far more sound than most of us ever perceive. Scientists have long noticed something curious before natural disasters. Animals, they sometimes behave strangely hours and sometimes even days before earthquakes or volcanic eruptions. Dogs become restless, birds abandon their nesting areas, and fish, they scatter suddenly. For centuries, these stories were dismissed as just folklore, but modern research suggests animals may be detecting that infrasound and ground vibrations that humans cannot perceive. Elephants communicate using deep infrasound that travels miles across the savanna. On whales, they exchange signals across entire ocean basins. Some birds and reptiles appear able to sense subtle ground vibrations through their bodies. When tectonic plates begin shifting beneath the Earth's crust, they may produce low frequency signals long before humans feel the shaking. To animals with sensitive hearing, the planet may already be speaking to us. It still sounds like silence. What makes the hum so intriguing is not simply the sound, it's the fact that only some people hear it. Two neighbors can stand in the same quiet street, and one hears nothing, and the other hears a deep vibration pulsing through the night. That difference raises a fascinating question. Is the hum a mystery of physics or a mystery of perception? Perhaps it's both, but sound is not only about waves moving through the air, it's also about how the brain is interpreting them. The world around us is never truly silent. Even in the quietest places, the planet is alive with motion, wind moving through the trees and water shifting beneath the sea, electrical currents humming through the grid that powers our lives. Most of these signals pass unnoticed, but every so often, someone hears them. And once you begin listening for something, it becomes very difficult to ignore. Which brings me back to that night with my mother, standing in the quiet street, listening, and realizing that the world may be full of signals that only a few people notice. Perhaps the hum is nothing more than machinery and physics, or perhaps it reminds us of something deeper, that the earth is always speaking, sometimes in thunder, and sometimes in wind, and sometimes in a quiet vibration that only a few people can hear. Follow the signals, question the noise, and I'll see you on the night side.